Hey guys, and welcome to another First Impressions video. Today we're going to be looking at Farm Manager 2021 Prologue. Now, when I first saw this game, I actually thought it was going to be more like Farm Sim in that you actually did everything yourself. It's actually not like that at all, and as a result, it's much more up my alley. We're going to look at the gameplay, we're going to look through some options, and I'm going to say some things that I liked and some things I disliked about the tutorial specifically. And then we're going to go into the game and we'll really get down to the crux of it. So let's have a look at the settings to start with and go from there. So first of all, the graphics settings aren't amazing. They're not really, like, it doesn't give you a good sort of feel for what it is that you're having by having the graphics on very high. It does have vertical sync. One thing I will say is that full screen without a frame is not borderless windowed. It is just not full screen. Kind of a bit disappointed in that. What I will say is that, as with most of these sort of simulation type games, you have got a lot of gameplay options and different things that you can change around with that. The controls are here. They look to be rebindable, which is kind of cool. One thing I will say is that even with the tutorial, you're going to have to go in here to check for this thing here, which is to rotate your buildings. It took me about 10 minutes in the tutorial to try and figure this out because it doesn't actually include it in the tutorial, but we'll get into that when we're in the game and I can talk about it a bit more. Outside of that, not really a lot to say here. I would like a bit more customization in the graphics settings, but other than that, it doesn't seem to take a lot of graphical intensity, shall we say. So let's have a look at the game and see what this game is really about. Alright then, so we're in the game. As you can see, it is more like a top-down cities builder or SimCity builder than it is a first-person kind of game like Farming Sim. I like this. Basically, it's a management game, so you have to build your buildings, make your farm start up and make it make a profit. I'm currently on the campaign mode, which gives you a number of objectives that you've got to do, i.e. renovate buildings, make sure the farms are, you know, looking good, make sure all the buildings are done. The quicker you get it done, the better. So you've got to renovate all these, and then you've got to make them all have a road. Now you've got your speed up options here in the corner, and then you've got all your other options and things that you need to do as well. These little notifications are handy because they tell you what it is that you actually need to get done next. And depending on how fast it is you run, you can actually see all of your workers do all the things that they need to do, and everything get finished and repaired, and it's kind of cool. Like, I like it when there's a lot of detail in these sort of games that shows you that. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the tutorial for this game isn't the best. It's not the worst, but it's also not the best. And it's not the best because it kind of explains to you what you need to do without explaining to you what you need to do. For example, like I mentioned with the rotate building, it told me to build a building, but it didn't tell me how to rotate it to set it where I needed to be. So it just wouldn't let me do what I needed to do in order to continue the tutorial. And likewise, near the end of the tutorial, it tells me that I need to get a budget income of 1,000 farm coins, but it doesn't tell me where I can go to check that, or where I can go to set the budget, or where I can go. It kind of just leaves you to it, and I feel like it's oversights like that that can make you go, well, I'm not playing this game then because I don't know what I'm doing. I shouldn't have to go into the options to see what the controls are when I'm in a tutorial. It's nice that they're there to be rebound, but it shouldn't be a first point of reference if I'm in a tutorial. If it's telling me to place a specific building in a specific spot, then that specific spot should also tell me how to rotate, because honestly that's kind of the point, right? That's kind of why I'm doing what I'm doing, you know. Right, we'll connect those and then we'll make some lines here. Now it's kind of cool that you can make these poles do what you need them to do, and the sounds are kind of neat as well. I'm a big fan of. I'm gonna drive everybody insane by not making it go in great order. Cool. And then we need roads, right? I think we need more. And then we need roads. So you basically, on the campaign, you're taking a derelict farm, essentially, and you are making it so that it's no longer derelict, right? You've got to connect the roads up. You've got to renovate all the buildings. You got to do all the stuff and the things and stuff, which is kind of cool. Now, the other thing that I'm not a huge fan of is that the camera movement is a bit finicky. Like, it's really sensitive, and the fact that they've got all these options down the bottom mean that when you go to hit it, like, you end up moving the map down instead of doing what you actually want to do. That's a bit of an issue. It's a bit too sensitive. It'd be nice if you could maybe make the map static or something. You know, it'd be nice if you could make it so that it doesn't automatically want to do that. The other problem is that when you want it to move the map, it doesn't. Like in a lot of other games I've played, SimCities, City Skylines and stuff, when you're building something you want to go all the way to there, it will keep going and the map will move with you, which is really useful and kind of nice. But on this, it doesn't seem to want to do that. You can rotate the map, which is nice. That's actually really helpful. Cool. So we've got all them connected. Am I going to need to make more transport? But outside of that, like, it's a pretty good game. I'm a big fan. I kind of like it. I do. It is definitely quite fun. And I can see the potential for it. Like, you can make cows, you can get sheep. Make cows, you can buy cows. Buy sheep and stuff. You can make your own food. You can make different fields. You can do a lot, and it's quite in depth. Like I say, it's just a shame, to me personally, that the tutorial's a bit of a letdown. And it kind of leaves everything to your own sort of devices, which is not ideal. But as games go, it's not bad. It's not a huge game either. It's only 2 gig, which when you look at the graphics and stuff isn't that surprising. There's a lot of text. The soundtrack's really nice as well. You've got your list of objectives here. Construct a new parking lot. Fine. Perfect. So yeah, it gives you an objective if you want to do the campaign and go from there and do that, which I like. I like it when it gives you objectives in these games and scenarios, or you can start from scratch and just go nuts. But this is it. This is Farm Manager 2021 Prologue. If this looks like the sort of thing for you, pick it up on Steam. Actually came out a couple of weeks ago. It's going to be a game that's pretty enjoyable if you can get past the fact that it's not as in-depth with its explanations as what it maybe could be. I'm not a person that is all about hand-holding, but I do think that a tutorial should be able to teach you all of the basics. And to be honest, rotating a building, even if it's just a tooltip that comes up and says how, if it's not part of the main description, would be nice. And then obviously the map and the way that it moves is a bit finicky. But other than that, I've got no qualms. Like, I can see me playing a lot of this. It looks pretty fun. I love city builders and stuff like that, and I love the fact that you can really go crazy with it with what you can build. Like, you can have big warehouses, you can make little flower boxes, you've got animals that you can do, so you can build cows and sheep. Social as the farm grows. Production is things like milk and cheese, and then your big warehouses, your garages, and then just decorations, and then random others. On the campaign, I'm guessing that you either unlock this as you go along, or you don't get it because of specific scenario you're on. But on the tutorial, you've got like it all there and available for you, which is kind of cool. So you can see what the game's got to offer in the tutorial alone. But there you are, guys. This is on Steam. Feel free to pick it up. And don't forget to like and subscribe to this video if you like the content. I think it's going to be a really good game. If they add to it, if they come out with DLCs for it, like extra packs, this could be pretty good. It's like Farm Sim, but without all of the... I don't want to say boring because it's quite therapeutic, but a lot of people find Farm Sim quite boring with the fact that you've got to plough the fields yourself. Whereas this, you can just set a field to be farmed and it'll do it, which is kind of cool. So yeah, there you are, guys. Thank you very much for watching the video. Like I say, do like and subscribe if you like what you see, and I will see you all next time. Thank you very much for watching. Ciao, ciao.